Let me tell you a little bit about Bet Online. It remains your #1 spot for NBA, MLB, MMA, boxing. It doesn't matter. Every single prop, every single play, every single point, it's all at Bet Online. When it comes to bets, when it comes to props, everything that you need is at your headquarters for sports betting. That's Bet Online. Head to the website right now, use your mobile device, sign up, get a 50% welcome bonus. Don't forget to use the promo code BLEAV, that's Believe, to get yourself a 50% welcome bonus. Come on, there's no need to hesitate. Bet Online, where the game starts.
I hope you're ready to have your mind blown with the greatest health and fitness information on the planet.
Yes, bitch!
Well, hello everybody. Welcome to my kitchen. I wanted to go over a day of eating right now because I put up a post talking about how for my 45th birthday, March 15th, 2024, I wanted to commit to getting back into aesthetics, to bodybuilding, to physique training. I'm really into fitness. Obviously, I'm really into health and fitness and stuff, but training had always been devoted, at least for the last kind of 2 decades, to performance. The byproduct was hopefully looking good naked, and I'm certainly interested in it, but now I really wanted to buckle down. So I'm starting now, and I wanted to document my training and my eating throughout all the phases. Right now, I'm looking, as we're 28 weeks out, I'm going to try to bulk up a little bit. And it's something I haven't done in a long time, really committing to adding muscle mass. And I'm 45 years old, which makes things really different. So I got to be a little bit more nuanced. I got to be a little bit more careful in how I do things. And I wanted to start off by talking about a day in the eating right now when I'm trying to get a little bit more muscle mass on my frame, especially in the areas that I really care about, like my upper chest, where I feel like I'm lagging. My upper chest, my calves, my forearms, and my booty. I want to add some culo meat. So anyway, I started off the day with some oats. I don't think that's too elaborate or exotic. I had a half cup of plain oats, and I cooked them, and I put in 2 scoops of milk protein. I like to use Beverly International Ultimate Muscle Protein. But any milk-based protein, casein-based protein that's going to digest slowly is something that I like. I also put in a half cup of some applesauce because applesauce is amazing, and also it's just good organic applesauce is ground up apples. It was in there, kind of makes I call it my muscle mush, and my daughter loves it, I love it. Use vanilla protein, it tastes fantastic. I'll put up all the macros of all my meals, and you can see my daily totals. Okay, so that was my morning meal. My next meal was my peri-workout nutrition because I went to go train. Just got back from training. What is that? Well, that's going to be field rations, of course. Okay, I only had 1 scoop today because it was just push workout on. If I'm going to deadlift or I'm going to do legs, I will have 2 scoops. Here is the nutritional breakdown of that. Now it's time to get back, and we're going to eat the rest of our meals. I follow Justin Harris and First Detachment's theory of steak, rice, repeat. Why? Because steak is about the best source of protein you can find as far as like the amino acid breakdown and how the body tolerates it. White rice, again, globally, really well tolerated, and it's a fantastic source of nutrition. Okay, so right here I have my rice cooking. I put in a half a cup dry, which is going to be 2 meals. I'm going to have a 1/4 cup at each meal, and that's another tip. Try to maximize every single time you cook. Don't just cook 1 meal. It makes it more convenient, and it also makes it easier to kind of track all your macros and your calories because you can do it all at one time and break it down. So I have my rice cooking right here. I don't think I need to show you how to cook rice. You can do that. And then I have my bison sirloin because I'm trying to eat a lot right now. I want to eat as much as I possibly can with as little calories as possible. Get as much good glucose and glycogen into my muscles, and also get as much amino acids and protein and stuff in, but doing that at a regulated amount of calories. How does one do that? Old school classic bodybuilding. High carb, high protein, low fat. We don't want it too low. We want our hormones to stay healthy, so I like to cook with really, really good olive oil. Use a opaque bottle because a see-through or a translucent bottle tends to go rancid quicker. That'll stay shelf stable pretty long. And of course, always cooking with my Redmond Real Salt. I can't recommend this stuff enough. It's a fantastic source of sodium and all the electrolytes that you're going to need to train hard, especially when it's hot, like it is out in Texas right now. Okay, so I have my sirloin. These are 8 ounces. I cut them to 8 ounces. I already pre-measured them. Also, just try to do as much as you can in advance to make things easier for you. 8-ounce sirloin, lemon juice, and a little bit, it's very dose dependent, apple cider vinegar. It softens up the meat, makes this really, really, really lean sirloin, for the bison sirloin, a little bit softer, a little bit more tender. Because look, I love my ribeye. Okay, I love my New York strip, but the fattier meats are going to be tastier. Oftentimes, when you're cooking these really, really lean meats, when you're trying to really commit to making that appearance get to where you want it to be, you're going to be eating leaner cuts of meat. And I never had a problem eating like bodybuilding style carbs, sweet potato without butter and sour cream. It's fine. It's delicious. A little sea salt, I'm good. Same with oats and same with white rice. But lean cuts of meat are pretty shitty. At least I find them harder to tolerate. So I like to soak them. I pre-cut them and measure them so I know exactly how much macros and stuff is in their calories, so that when I can calculate it makes it a little easier. And then I soak them in the lemon juice and the apple cider vinegar, some sea salt and some spices so that it tastes good. And then now I'm gonna rock and roll. I was hoping I could get through this whole video without any farm animals ruining the audio, but I can. The guinea fowl have come up to the porch. All right, so I cooked my meat, and I told you I already had the rice cooking, so I just separated them. I put half of the meats in here with half of the rice, and then right here, ready to eat. Meat is very personal. Well done is insane. You should be. We should deport you to, even if you're a citizen, send you somewhere else. But when it comes to really lean meats, especially red meat, you really don't want to overcook it. Okay, like really seriously, don't do anything to make it more tough and more chewy. Okay, so all you fans of rare, medium rare, this is your time to like really let that shine and be very careful not to overcook it. But look, if shoe leather meat is your thing, you go for it. Like I said, it's very personal. So along with it, with 2 or 3 of my meals, I always have some fermented veggies. I mean, regular cooked veggies are good, especially if they're well tolerated. Zucchinis, the zucchinis of the world, asparagus, bell peppers, those are fantastic. Throw them in the pan. I do that a lot too. But you know, back in LA, I used to go to the Asian markets, so specifically in K-Town or on the west side, I'd get some like real, actual kimchi. But now I've got wild brine out here in Texas, and you can get that at any kind of like health food store, Whole Foods, whatnot. It's fantastic. I love fermented veggies because I genuinely enjoy the taste, and there's a lot of variety you can choose from. The more spicier kind of Asian influence, the more like Eastern Bloc stuff. But fermented veggies are well tolerated, and they're packed with nutrients, and I like things that help me to digest my food, everything else that I'm eating. Speaking of that, so I have those 2 meals set aside. I have my oats in the morning with the protein. I have my field rations. I'm gonna have this meal now. I'm gonna have the second one later. And then finally, before I go to bed, what will I have? I will have this. 2 cups. I like Kettle and Fire. I like this brand. But if you're willing to make your own bone broth, I say go with chicken. Stan Efferding gave me this tip. Chicken bone broth, even though I'm a red meat fan as far as eating the muscle meat, when it comes to broth, you want to get animals that have the smallest bones and connective tissue, because that's going to leach more into the actual broth as opposed to like big cattle bones. Cattle bones are monstrous. I don't know if you've ever seen them. But so I really like chicken broth, and I Kettle and Fire. It's pretty reasonably priced considering how good the quality is. And then I throw in some more of my good old Redmond's real salt. And I'll have 2 cups of that before bed with some healthy fats, either MCT oil in there or some butter, and it digests really slowly. And I'll have it with either my good old friend watermelon or my good old friend pineapple. Again, trying to really up the amount of not only good nutrients I put in my body, but good nutrients that my body can actually digest and assimilate into my system. Okay? When you're eating a lot, when you're trying to bulk up, one of the bigger mistakes that you make is you're constantly feeding yourself things that you can't process. It's just too much. It's just too much, and it's not food that's easily broken down. And then you get yourself into this weird series of having lots of gas and digestive problems, and then you're not really using all those nutrients that you're working so hard to feed yourself, and you get bloated and you get fatter, and you're not really, you wonder why you're not bulking up in the way that you want to bulk up. So that is an often overlooked aspect of like bodybuilding training or performance nutrition, is not just about what you put in your body. It's like, what are you digesting? So that's why I really recommend fermented veggies. Again, Wild Brine makes 4 or 5 different varieties that my wife and my daughter love. The beets, it's actually fermented beets, which is like a nutritional powerhouse, and it's fermented, so it's a little bit easier to digest. And it's shelf stable. It's fermented, so it stays good for ridiculously long amounts of time. I definitely cook some vegetables in with my meat, but this is a mainstay for me. This is the dill and garlic organic kraut. And along with some bison meat, dude, it's awesome. Bison meat, rice, boom. Here's my macros for those 2 meals. And then my totals with 2 cups of broth at the end of the day. It puts me here, and that's right in the area that I want to be in. And that's how I'm going to be eating for about 4 to 5 weeks, see how it goes, and I will up maybe the calories a little bit, up the carbs a little bit if I need to. Maybe I'll trickle them down if I'm gaining too much weight too quickly, because I know it's not really muscle. Again, I'm 45 years old. So, and then we'll be able to kind of alter and tweak as I get closer and closer to where I want to be. All right, so that is a day in the eating of me right now. I hope you enjoyed that. Oh, hey, before I go, I have noticed by studying these, X's and O's here, that a lot of the people that enjoy this podcast and these YouTube videos are not subscribed. Do me a favor, subscribe. And if you have any questions, you have any concerns, go ahead, put a comment there. I try really hard to make sure that I go through them, and I try to answer them. Also, my Patreon's available. Check it out. All right, thanks.